Buncamper.
Good evening, fellow Sabans. Yes, I am your number 4 candidate on the WIPM list, and I am for human rights. This has always been and is my platform. Human rights cover the concerns of all of us as people of Saba, and all of the 9 principles of the WIPM party are based on human rights, which is why I chose to work within the WIPM. Yes, you are not hallucinating that I am reading from a prepared statement this evening. For those of you that know me, which is everyone, you know that I am challenged when it comes to sticking to time allotted to me. To ensure that I get this down packed tonight, I opted to put my train of thoughts on paper this evening. If you see me deviate from this, stop me. So here I go. All the concerns that we as people are experiencing are embedded in human rights. To name just a few areas, there is our healthcare, our educational system, access to opportunities, the cost of living, job opportunities, youth programs, and various areas within our social welfare system, such as the old age pension, the child allowance, the lack of housing subsidies, and the welfare program that do not truly represent the true needs of our island. Well, that's a mouthful. Let's bring that into perspective, and as you know, my platform is human rights, which always is based on the positive side of things. Let's talk about what has been done and what is in the making. Since I have been in government, under a WIPM-led government, we have seen programs initiated that speak to the needs of the community, such as the Youth Opportunity Program, the Adult Continuing Education Program, a social workplace, a Center for Youth and Family, the Expertise Center for Education Care. Public health programs are supported. Our human resources in certain departments have been given the opportunity to increase their skills. Infrastructure projects have been completed and others have kicked off, and the list can go on and on. All of these projects have been put in place to improve the overall deliverables to better address the needs and concerns of our people. Many of these programs are supported through subsidy agreements with clear objectives and reporting obligations in order for their continued support. All are in compliance as recorded in the government's annual audited reports. Others are being supported through the various ministries, and the WIPM-led government continues to work with our partners to address the concerns of our people. Additionally, several organizations in the non-governmental sector have also been awarded structured subsidy to complement some of the programs just listed, or to mitigate hardships within certain groups in our community, such as the pensioners that have only a single income, which is the old age pension, for example, single parents, drug and other substance abuse victims, and not forgetting the youth. This leads me to once again stress the importance of the evaluation process that is currently taking place, and the stability and continuity of government to see us through this process. The evaluation is anticipated to provide us with the much welcomed additional evidence-based documentation to further strengthen our cases for our causes. The reality is that we as a local government are limited in our authority to make specific decisions, and contrary to some perception, it is not a smokescreen to deflect our responsibility, as some may claim. We as a government understand our authority, and as an entity of the Netherlands must petition them, and with them I am referring to the government and its ministries in The Hague to review and approve and fund our request for many of these programs. For example, we know that the old age pension is too low. Could we change the amount? Could we change the amount of the pension ourselves as a government? No, we cannot. So we need to build alliances with parties and their representatives that have similar ideologies as those of the WIPM, or at least can find themselves to stand up for our causes. Alliances that will assist when they share the opinion that our human rights are being violated or at least not treated fairly. And the WIPM can boast that we have done a good job at building alliances over the years. And we will continue the networking and establish even more beneficial alliances as we move along and continue to build upon a credible reputation amongst our partners. The WIPM-led government will continue to lobby and take legal actions to put things right. The WIPM-led government, along with some of its allies on the other BES islands, have instituted legal procedures to address the inequalities of the old age pension. And the initial ruling is that this case should be tabled with the Human Rights Commission. And the WIPM-led government is on board with this next step. We, as a party, know this procedure is necessary to accomplish what we want as a people. But it is a process that is time-consuming, and we have to accept that, as there is just no other way around such legal proceedings. The WIPM-led government will continue to also challenge the laws regarding the welfare program, the child support program, and the issues surrounding housing subsidies. These issues are all embedded and intertwined in the human rights issues. A WIPM-led government will not stop its fight to right the wrongs on behalf of the people of Seva. We will not always agree on how we go about some of these things or how fast things go. But at the end of the day, it is undeniable a fact that this WIPM government has delivered in many ways and will continue to deliver in a structured and sustainable way. Before I end, I would like to just touch specifically on the cost of living issue. And I am grateful for the questions that were posted via social media to all the candidates running, because it allows us to address the issue to not only a localized audience, but really to the entire world, as we all know what reach social media has. Due to the fact that we import almost everything influences our cost of living. Having to only cater to such a small-scale economy influences our cost of living in a negative way due to the high overhead costs to operate. Having a tax system that is not contextually in sync with the reality of our island are all factors that we need to continue to work with our partners, but both locally and in The Hague, to reach a better balance, to better meet the needs of our residents and our entrepreneurs alike. I can go on and on here, but I won't, as I made that promise earlier. I do want to thank the author of the very relevant questions that she posted on her Facebook page. I do invite you, if you have not seen all of my responses to her queries and concerns, to please do so on my Facebook page. If you don't have access to social media, please drop by my office and I will be more than willing to share a hard copy with you. I, as your number 4 candidate, have the ability to oversee and follow through with these procedures to obtain successful solutions to our concerns. Well, I have reached the end. I have stuck to my plan to keep it brief and not to rattle off way too much info for the once. In closing, let me say that my door is always open, and so is my computer, to address any question or concerns you may have. I say, let us continue moving forward together. Thank you for your attention and enjoy the rest of the evening. God bless.
Very much, Carl. You know, I hear some people out there saying that this is a government of cement. Well, thank God for cement. Otherwise, you wouldn't have your houses you're living in. All these projects that create employment wouldn't be going on. People would be home, doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs without income. You know,